I have good news to report for once. Good news. We've got the two airmen of the F-15 that got shot down are home. They are safe and sound. One was wounded. One is the other one I don't believe is wounded. I think they were just able to find him relatively quickly, or her. I'm not sure. Let me find the original article here if I can. They got the second member yesterday. The first member, I think they rescued Friday. Yeah, here we have it. All right, let's pull this one up for the context. So we had one crew member rescued after U.S. F-15 shot down over Iran, while search continues for other pilot report. So what happened? One crew member has been rescued, and the search continues for the second pilot after a U.S. F-15 was shot down over Iran, the first aircraft down in Iranian territory since the war began nearly 5 weeks ago. The jet, flown by a two-member crew, was shot down by Iranian forces around 6:45 a.m. Friday, and a rescue mission was quickly launched. One of the pilots, who had ejected before the aircraft went down, was rescued by U.S. forces. Two U.S. officials have told CBS News. The pilot is alive and receiving medical attention. The U.S. forces are racing to recover the second pilot, a weapons systems officer, before Iranian forces can reach them. Israel is helping the United States with the search and rescue operations. An Iranian news anchor has urged residents go away. An Iranian news anchor has urged residents to hand over any enemy pilot to the police and promised a reward for anyone who did. Okay, so you get the gist. Shit went downhill for these guys. They got shot down, and Iran was like, yo, if you tell us where they're at, we'll give you some monies. Everybody likes money. We'll give you some free money, some dinero, some bread, some kashish, some green. I don't know what color what color Iranian money is, so I don't know if green applies. But you get my point. So it wasn't great news. We had one out in the wild. Well, here we have from BBC. I don't know why I shouldn't have shut the screen share off. Here we have from BBC what we know about downed F-15 jet and U.S. Airmen's rescue. Here we have the U.S. has rescued the missing crew member of the U.S. F-15 fighter jet, which was shot down on Friday over southern Iran. President Donald Trump confirmed the rescue on social media on Sunday morning. The U.S. military, quote, pulled off one of the most daring search and rescue operations in its history, and the officer is now, quote, now safe and sound. He added later in the post that he had been seriously wounded. I don't know what the serious wounding is. I would imagine probably something's broken. Usually, when guys have to eject out of planes, it usually ends with like broken bones and whatnot. Like it's usually like a broken arm, a broken leg, and I know, this dude was evading capture in a hostile territory, potentially with broken bones. I mean, at least that's what I'm assuming. It says the wreckage of the aircraft was near Isfana. I don't fucking know how to say these things. Right here, if you can read this, Isfahan. So this is where they landed here, or where they wrecked rather. Um, so this is in Iran. They're well inside. I mean, you can see the border with Iraq here. They are well inside the Iranian borders. So this person is surviving in a hostile environment, and that's something we talk about when I teach people how to build fires and when to build fires and where to build fires and why to build fires. one of the first things I teach people is if you're ever in a survival or evasion type situation, one of the things you have to understand is, are you in a permissive environment? Are you in a semi permissive environment? Or are you in a non permissive environment? And oftentimes, the places we are, we're just out in the woods. So I always tell them, this is a semi permissive environment. We probably aren't going to be bothered here, but we might be told to leave, but nobody's going to kill us for being here. We might wander onto someone's property and they might be like, hey, get out of here. This is my property. In which case, you just leave and all is fine. But, the alternative is it's a non permissive environment and they'll just shoot you on sight. This is clearly a non permissive environment because this person is an enemy warfighter. If they get rolled up by the Iranians, they're either going to a prison camp or they're going to be just executed on sight. Probably just executed on sight. I mean, this is Iran we're talking about. I don't think they're interested in taking prisoners. So, we have these people. People. I use the term loosely. They're not very people-y. They're kind of lunatics, if you would. They are clearly pissed that the U.S. is involved. They're clearly pissed that Israel is involved. They're clearly not happy about all the goings-on of the world, especially involving us invading them and bombing the shit out of them. They're not super thrilled. So if they see one of us, they're probably not going to be very nice. Imagine. I know I wouldn't be. If I saw an Iranian land in my yard, I would probably shoot the bastard. I would probably just be like, yeah, not risking it. If I saw an Iranian fighter pilot in military attire, probably assume Red Dawn, and I would probably just shoot the bastard. Not really asking questions. That would be my approach if I was in that situation. This is a non-permissive environment to those people. And no, I'm not saying I'm pro-war. No, I'm not saying I'm pro-conflict. I'm just saying if a hostile enemy landed from a wrecked plane that was just bombing my country, yeah, I'm going to shoot you. If you're bombing my country and you just crash landed, yeah, I'm going to shoot you. Who wouldn't? You just bombed my country. You just bombed my home. Yeah, I'm going to shoot you. Of course. At the very least, I'm going to roll you up and I'm going to throw you in my basement until the fucking cops or whoever come and take you. At the bare minimum, that's what I'm going to do. Probably not going to bother with it, though. I'm probably just going to fucking... I mean, especially if you're armed. Because, most pilots do have a firearm of some sort. Whether I know a lot of them have MP5s. Excuse me. I've heard sometimes they have a... little 22 caliber survival gun. I've heard sometimes they have MP5s. You ever seen them little collapsible 22s? You take them apart, everything fits in the stock, and then the thing floats. I've heard that some pilots have those. I don't know if it's like you can have what you want to have, or if it's like here's what you get. Pistols in chest rigs, living under the arm or whatever. I've heard a lot of different things of pilots carrying different things. In Vietnam, it was the 1911 in the shoulder holster, and then in between the two seats there would be an M4, there would be an M16 or a Car 15 or an MP5 or something, usually something compact. Occasionally they would have M16s, and it was just in the event that you went down, you had something, and they would obviously they would have a couple extra mags. Black Hawk Down, I think the pilots had MP5s. Now I don't know if fighter jet pilots carry weapons, but I know that helicopter pilots and things like that, they'll generally at least have a pistol and a couple mags. If not, something with a little bit more oomph. But I'm still not a big fan of this war. I still don't support, I don't support what led us here. Now that we're here, I obviously support the troops. But this is what I wanted to bring up here. This is the AAA fuel prices across the nation. And as you can see, these dark blue states. We got Ohio, most of the Midwest, and is that Georgia there? Yeah, Georgia. Uh, 375 to 327. I can tell you, again, this is an average. Right here we have national average exceeds $4 per gallon. I can tell you for sure in my area, we have seen $4.19. I don't think they are willing to do 4.20 because that would just be too funny. But they the gas prices have gone up over $1 a gallon. It's to the point where if here it is for today's national average 4.11 a gallon. That's about what we're seeing. You got states like Alaska, everything on the west coast is all 4.75. Look, California is almost $6 a gallon. All of it is over the national average. Then you've got Montana, which is on par with what we're seeing in the Ohio area. Most of the Midwest is seeing 360 a gallon, 370 a gallon, 380 a gallon. Here we got Wisconsin seeing 380. Illinois seeing 429 a gallon. That's ridiculous. Indiana 390, 380, 380, 390. The gas prices have almost doubled for a lot of people. Let's see, a year ago average $3.25. A month ago average $3.32. Not much change. Last week $3.90, $3.99 was the average. Yesterday $4.11 was the average. Diesel went from $3.63 a gallon to $5.61 a gallon. Do you understand what that does to your shipping costs? Do you understand what that does to the cost of your goods? Look, I'm not going to fucking sit here and lecture you about gas prices and why war is bad. When we get into a war that we didn't really have to get into, we really didn't need this war. Unless the end goal here is we're going to take all the oil and this is just a temporary thing, I am really not thrilled about this. I am rather pissed, if I'm being honest. How do I say this? Work's slow, money's tight. I'm in a shitty spot, having to file bankruptcy. Car just broke down. I mean, dude, it's falling apart right now. Things are not going great. However, the worst part is the gas prices. The gas prices, now I drive, I don't know, 20-ish miles each way to work. It takes me about a half hour to get to work. None of my vehicles get great gas mileage. My wife's car has had a mystery problem I've been chasing for months. Probably close to a year and a half now, honestly. And I cannot figure out this problem. I have tried everything. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know how to fix the problem. And here's the issue. When it goes from $40 to fill the tank to $75 to fill the tank, and now gas prices are through the roof, that $75 was the money I was using to spend on a little part here, a little part there, a little part here, a little part there until I fixed this problem. Now I don't have the ability to fix this problem because the money I was spending towards a little part here and a little part there is now going towards gas. It's just going to get to work. So now the problem doesn't get fixed, and the problem is the car runs like shit, which makes the car get worse gas mileage, which exacerbates the problem of having to spend $75 per fill up because the car is getting 12 miles to the gallon instead of 18 like it should. Normally this car, it's an old Explorer, and it has been a wonderful car. It has treated us well. It has done us so good. We've had this car for years. We paid $2,000 for it. So I mean, if it dies, it's earned it at this point. But I love the car. I enjoy the car. The heat is amazing. The air conditioning works most of the time. It is a wonderful ride. I enjoy it. Great car. But until I can figure out why it runs like shit, I can't fix the fact that it gets terrible gas mileage. I can't put parts in it until gas prices come down because with work being slow, partly because gas prices are through the roof, we're not hauling shit unless it's worth it. I mean, when our fuel costs have doubled for no reason overnight, yeah, we're like, well, I'm not gonna haul that thing unless it's really fucking worth hauling that thing because it's not logical to operate at a loss. It's not feasible to operate at a loss. So we're very slow right now. Concrete companies are like, hey, we have to double the cost of the concrete because we supply it. You know, they put it in the concrete trucks, and we haul sand and gravel to the concrete companies. So the concrete companies are saying, hey, you know, we have to charge more for the gravel, and we have to charge more for the sand. We have to charge more for the end result, the concrete. We have to charge a higher delivery fee, and all that is because the price of fuel has gone up. You know, they have to charge. My boss has to charge more to make the same amount of money. So the concrete plant has to charge their customer more to make up for the extra that we're charging them. I mean, it is this whole war has been it's been unnecessary, and it's been a real impact at home. And I'm hoping the end result, because if I were to do this, the end result would be I'm going to take all the oil. It's going to be American controlled. You don't have it anymore. You don't have control because you're clearly not fucking responsible enough to have control. And I'm going to have control. You're not. And my people are going to prosper. And you will be buying your own oil off of me. That's what I hope happens here. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. I want to talk about California later. We're going to talk about survival stuff later. So, you know, stay tuned for that. I don't know what time. I don't know. If it warms up a little bit, I'm probably going to take my dirt bike out for a little ride and try to unwind a little bit because it's been a couple days. It's been a rough couple days. So, you know, that's it. I just wanted to yap about these pilots that got found and express my discontent for this war. You know, those F-15s aren't cheap. That cost us a bunch of money. These gas prices are ridiculous. That's costing the American taxpayer a bunch of money. And we're just kind of getting shafted and paying for the privilege all along. And it's real frustrating. It's real frustrating. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you all in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Later.